But let's talk about Deontay Wilder.
Okay.
Um, I like I said, I wrote a piece. If anybody missed it, um, Deontay, I don't know, what was it, 67 seconds, 69 seconds, I don't know what it was. He finished Dominic Brazil in the first round, 1-2 combo. I mean, complete knockout. Not like,
Mhm.
oh, he went to one knee. I'm talking about arms flailed, arms wide, legs wide, laying on your back, out type of a
And
knockout.
and before the knockout, he hit him with shots that were just as YouTube worthy.
Yes, they were big shots. But I will say, to Dominic Brazil's credit, he landed two hard right hands himself that made Wilder back up. But Wilder's a savage.
Yeah.
And most fighters, when they get hit with a hard shot that makes them back up, it usually takes them about a round to replenish their aggression. It took Wilder about 9 seconds. He got
Yeah.
hit good enough to back up. And then he said, okay, now, okay, is that what we're doing? All right,
Well,
watch
he reassessed the situation immediately
this.
and complained about getting hit in the top of the head.
Yeah, I mean, well, he got hit in the top of the head. Just, I mean, that wasn't. I mean, he the dude threw overhand right, and he's
Oh,
tall and he fights tall. So
I ain't saying he was wrong or right. I'm just saying
yeah, he
he had the
complained
he
about
had
it.
the
He was like,
wherewithal to
yeah,
be
yeah,
like, hey,
because he got. I mean, because the shot was hard. He almost got a braid knocked loose. But but he came back, knocked him out right after that. So here's the thing about Wilder. Most people in boxing, if you look at most what you would call quote unquote reputable pound for pound top tens, you will not find Deontay Wilder's name in most of them. You won't. Um, he's 41-0-1 with 40 knockouts. He has literally dropped every single fighter he's ever faced. Literally. There's no exaggeration. Every single man that has ever stepped in the ring with Deontay Wilder, he has knocked down. When you're judging who are the best fighters in the world, what are you looking at? You're looking at wins, you're looking at finishes, you're looking at knockouts. That's what you're looking at. If that's where you're judging efficiency and proficiency, who is superior to Deontay Wilder? I think he gets a bad rap because he's not aesthetically pleasing, right? He's not a fundamentally sound fighter. But man, oh man, who gets the job done is really, I mean, who gets the job done more or more efficiently? I
so
can't, like, I'm
my
not saying
my
he's my number one guy. I'm not saying that, but I'm
mhm.
saying, man, you're gonna tell me that there are 10 guys in the world right now that are more efficient, more proficient, more dangerous than Deontay Wilder? No way. No way.
So I think that's all fair. Although I would say part of the criteria is strength of opponent, of course.
Sure.
That's always going to be huge. Um, who in the top 10 would you take off the list?
Well, it depends on whose list that you're looking at, like, because
Yeah.
people have
But
different.
is there an overlapping guy that you would say this guy always needs to come off?
Um, I'd have to look again. I have to look again, to be honest. I'll look. Actually, I'll look again now. Find the first one I find, and I'm quite sure it'll be similar to um what people generally have, right? Okay. I would put him ahead of Mikey Garcia at this point.
Okay.
I would put him ahead of Gennady Golovkin at this point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, well, Jared Hurd fell off because Jared Hurd just lost to Julian Williams, so nobody has him there anymore either. But I would definitely have had him ahead of him. He was there before, even before he lost. I would have had him ahead. I would have had Wilder ahead of him.
Yeah.
Now, Wilder has 9 consecutive successful title defenses. Nobody else has that either. Now, here's the funny thing about it. I can't put him ahead of Anthony Joshua because I think that Joshua has beaten better fighters. Joshua beat Klitschko, he beat Joe Parker, and he beat Alexander Povetkin. The best fighters that Wilder has faced are Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury. He knocked out Ortiz. I think he lost to Tyson Fury. I
Mm-hmm.
personally feel that Fury won the fight, but according to the official record, he did not.
Right.
So I don't know, man. I just there's like
No,
I
I'm with you. I think you make a
yeah,
fair point. I think keeping him out of the top 10 is pretty tough.
yeah,
And I think that the pound for pound list needs a hard look because there's people with losses on their record. There's people with a lot less wins than him
yeah.
in the top 10. And, at this point,
95% KO rate, man.
at this point, I would just say it's on him to make sure that over the next few years, his strength of opponent matches what he's trying to earn.
Yeah, but see, that's the unfortunate thing about boxing though right now is that it's not up to him.
Yeah.
It's really not. Like he wants the AJ fight. I believe AJ wants to fight. AJ's people don't want to fight right now
Right.
because the way this whole thing works is they believe that Wilder's probably going to put AJ to sleep. They or at least if they don't believe it, they know that it's a strong possibility.
Hmm.
So the thing of it is AJ still has 2 to 3 25 30+ million dollar paydays left on the table that he can have before he fights
Hmm.
Wilder. His people would like to collect on those paydays before they put him in the ring with somebody who can eliminate his aura of invincibility
Right.
and eliminate the O from his record, because when that happens, it can somewhat damage your earning potential. So they know Wilder's a tough guy. AJ is kind of plodding and he's kind of mechanical, but he's a big, strong guy too. So he could beat Wilder because he's a big, strong, humongous heavyweight with a big punch, good athlete. He can land if he hits Wilder well early or anytime in the fight. He
Hmm.
can stop him. I mean, we're at heavyweight, almost everybody has a knockout punch.
Right.
Almost
Right.
hardly nobody that
This
doesn't.
is too. It's too big. Yeah.
They're just too big. They're
Yeah.
just too big. You teach somebody that big how to properly throw a punch, he can knock you out. I promise you.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's just it's one of those things. So I don't know. I think there was a time when you could put strength of schedule solely on the fighter, but that's not the era that we're in right now.
Yeah.
There's too many other factors, and that's part of what's wrong with boxing.
Before we dip out to ask us, bro, I got a quick side question. Do you think boxing would increase in popularity if they just formed a league?
You know what? I normally would have said that, but right about now, boxing's popularity is flourishing as much as it has in the past 25 years.
Hmm.
Right now, it's all over television every week, which we haven't had this much exposure to boxing in I don't know how long. It is the backbone of or it's part of the backbone of two major big money streaming services. And the numbers that we just saw generated from Manny Pacquiao's pay-per-view fight, his last pay-per-view fight, show us and tell us that people will actually still spend on pay-per-view
Hmm. Hmm.
to see a certain type of fight. So I don't think that what it needs is a governing body. I
Yeah.
don't know if it has to be like a league where there's wins and losses and those sort of things, but it needs a central governing body that supersedes everything and everybody else.
Right. Like,
They
because when you have two guys who are at the top of their game
they
and they
should be
beating
fighting each
everybody,
other.
they have to fight. Like,
They should be
it's
fighting
like
each other.
it's
Yeah.
prize fighting. That's what you do.
And that's what the edge that the UFC has on boxing is, because Daniel Cormier is going to fight John Jones. It's not going to be John doesn't want to do it because his
Right.
promoter
Right.
said this and they didn't think he's ready. That's not going to happen. That can only happen for so long. They're going to make the fight. And I think that's the thing. That's the thing right there. You need somebody, you need a body, an entity, a group, a company, an organization that mandates these different types of things. That Because the thing of it is when we're watching, Kawhi just missed a free throw. We're watching the NBA playoffs right now, and we know the champion is going to be determined at the end of all of this.
Right.
Whoever advances out of this series is going to play Golden State, and whoever wins that series is going to be the champion. And there is not going to be a debate about who is the best for this year.
Correct. They
And
won.
you need that type of finality in boxing. You know, the gray area needs to go away, because that's the perfect world. But people have been saying that about boxing for decades, but it's still here.